Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Global. We'll get you top stories from India and the region. I'm Tanvi Taneja, and for news from the rest of the world, I'm joined by my colleague in London, Stuart Smith. Hi, Stuart.
Hi Tanvi, it's 12:30 p.m. here in London, 1:30 p.m. across Central Europe. Estonia's Prime Minister has resigned to get a new job, and the White House is trying to lower the political temperature after Trump's assassination. But first, back to you for the headlines.
Islamabad to ban former Prime Minister Imran Khans Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf PTI party, the country's biggest opposition party. A terrorist attack, meanwhile, on a military facility in Banu, foiled by the Pakistan Army. Joe Biden and Donald Trump call for national unity and calm after Trump survives assassination bid. Democrats to nominate Joe Biden in virtual vote before convention. And Estonia's Prime Minister Kaja Kallas resigns to become the new EU foreign policy chief, replacing Josep Borrell. So up first, news from Asia. Pakistan government is planning to ban Imran Khan's party, the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. The decision was based on a number of factors, including the proven charge that Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf PTI had received foreign funds from sources that are illegal in Pakistan. The party's leadership is also accused of involving in rioting. PTI candidates contested the February 8th election as independents after it was barred from the polls. Khan came to power in 2018 and was ousted in 2022 after falling out with Pakistan's powerful military there. And DD India's Amritpal Singh joins us for more on the story. Amritpal, is a tough road ahead for Imran Khan despite back-to-back judicial reliefs. Is that the reason that the government is mulling to ban his party?
The reason really looks like political, because the last week's judgment of the Supreme Court clearly states that his party, which is a part of the Sunni Ittihad Council, can claim the reserve seats. Now, if that happens, or if the National Assembly Speaker allows the PTI to do that, their tally will go up to 109. Now, that puts the Shehbaz Sharif government in a political minority. It is already a shaky and a wickety coalition, so things could get tough for them. So that is why you see this move by the Pakistan government to try and ban the PTI. Once it's banned, then it of course can't stake claim to form the government. It's the MPs who are elected are elected as independent MPs in any case, because the PTI was disqualified from contesting elections as a party, but they still emerged as the single largest bloc. So clearly, it seems like there is a political reason. Also clearly because the army is not in favor of Imran Khan, coming out of jail and being a part of the political process, because it sees a direct threat from Imran Khan, because he by far remains the most popular leader in Pakistan as of date. So therefore you see these old cases being revived. This one of the case of anti-state activities and terrorism has to do with the attack on the Lahore Corps Commander's house in May 9th last year. So these are charges they are leveling, and they've also said that they will go to the Supreme Court they'll go into the Supreme Court for a review of its judgment. So clearly it is the nature of the charges seem, or the intention behind trumping up these charges seem political.
Okay, very quickly, Amrit, what does this mean for Imran Khan's political future? Is this a serious blow for him, or can he bounce back?
He clearly remains the most popular leader. They will try and see that he remains in jail. He's already in jail for the past 1 year. So the government and the army will do everything in their part to see that he remains in jail, because he has multiple cases against him. They are, charging him with more charges, more cases. That's the idea. But it will again depend upon the courts. If the courts throw out the cases against him, as in a couple of cases he's got relief, then there remains some political future for him. But he surely is a force a political force to reckon with within Pakistan. But temporarily, yes, his worries and problems increase.
Okay, thank you very much. Amritpal Singh reporting from New Delhi. In another development from Pakistan, security forces on Monday foiled a terrorist attack in Bannu cantonment. The terrorists attempted to enter the cantonment by detonating an explosive-laden vehicle on the road between the outer wall of Bannu Cant and the supply depot in northwest Pakistan. As per reports, the Special Service Group is operating at the scene as the firing is still on. Roads surrounding the facility were littered with fragments of glass from shattered windows of several nearby buildings that were impacted by the explosion. There is no immediate comment on the attacks from Pakistan's government or military so far. Staying in the region, Prime Minister of Nepal, KP Sharma Oli, took oath as the new Prime Minister, along with 21 ministers joining the cabinet from 4 parties in the freshly brewed alliance. Sharma was appointed Nepal's Prime Minister for a 4th term on Sunday to lead a new coalition government. First elected as Prime Minister in 2015, Oli was re-elected in 2018 and then reappointed briefly in 2021. Under the new power-sharing arrangement, Oli and the Nepali Congress Party's President Sher Bahadur Deuba will rotate in holding the Prime Minister's post until the next general election in 2027. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in a social media post on X, congratulated KP Sharma Oli, the newly appointed Prime Minister of Nepal. The Prime Minister of India said that he looks forward to working closely to strengthen the deep bonds of friendship between India and Nepal. Staying with Nepal, the police has said that there is no hope of finding survivors in the bus accident, as the report said that 55 still remain missing. Rescuers resumed their search of the site of Friday's incident in Chitwan district, about 86 kilometers west of the capital Kathmandu, where a landslide swept the buses into a river swollen due to heavy rain. Despite their efforts, the rough terrain and high water levels have severely hampered progress and made the rescue operation difficult. But officials have said that the search operation in Trishuli River will continue till the buses are located. On to Europe now. Estonia's first female Prime Minister, Kaja Kallas, has resigned on Monday to become the European Union's next foreign policy chief. Kallas has in the past expressed an unconditional support for Ukraine, making her country one of the biggest donors of military aid to Ukraine. My colleague Stuart Smith is in London. He gives us more on this and other stories making headlines around the world. Stuart, what would Kallas's leadership bring to the bloc?
Yep, Estonia's Prime Minister Kaja Kallas on Monday submitted her resignation to take over as the European Union's foreign policy chief later this year. Kallas was Estonia's first female Prime Minister. A staunch supporter of Ukraine, Kallas is succeeding Spain's Josep Borrell. Under her leadership, the small Baltic Republic of 1.4 million people became one of the biggest donors of military aid to Ukraine on a per capita basis. Kallas will remain as Estonia's caretaker Prime Minister until the next government is confirmed by early August this year. Meanwhile, Kallas's Reform Party has tapped Climate Minister Kristen Michal to become the next Prime Minister. Alex Carrier joins us live for more from Brussels. Alex, how much of a change does Kaja Kallas represent in the role of the EU's top diplomat?
Well, Stuart, where she comes from is actually the first important point in the difference between her predecessor, Josep Borrell, hailing from Spain. She comes from Estonia. That is the country in the European Union which per capita has given the most support to Ukraine. And that was under Kaja Kallas's leadership, and that will be one of the most significant changes. She is seen as one of the most hawkish, firm politicians when it comes to standing up to Russia in the context of Ukraine, of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The Baltic countries, of course, sharing a border with Russia, feel like the Kremlin's expansionism, as they view it, is a threat to their nations. And so that will be something that Kaja Kallas brings to the job. She is the third woman to do this job. Josep Borrell has been in post since 2019. He is on the way out, but significantly that shift will be about the EU's policy on Russia. But it's not entirely clear whether or not there will be a significant change, because in that role of High Representative for Foreign Affairs and European Commission Vice President that she will take up here at the EU's External Action Service in Brussels, she will be bound by the European Union's common position, which has to be agreed by all 27 member states, including Hungary, which has blocked very, very strong language against Russia. So it'll be interesting to see how she plays in that dynamic. It is a big job. She is in charge of the EU's diplomacy, in charge of hundreds of ambassadors around the world, and certainly will be an interesting change when it comes to one of the EU's very, very most senior roles. Stuart.
Alex Cadier in Brussels, thank you very much. After the failed assassination attempt on Donald Trump, US President Joe Biden used the formal setting of the White House Oval Office to ask Americans to lower the political temperature. In the statement, Biden called on Americans to take a step back and cool down the political rhetoric. Meanwhile, the failed assassination attempt on Trump in Pennsylvania didn't come as a surprise looking at the history of the US. However, what is interesting to note is the tone of a campaigning a day after the incident. More in this report.
From no-holds-barred election rhetoric to a unified message of calm and unity, the assassination attempt on former US President Donald Trump has changed the campaign narrative across the political landscape in the US. US President Joe Biden's re-election campaign has appended its strategy after the assassination attempt on Republican rival Donald Trump, calling off verbal attacks on the former president to focus instead on a message of unity. Within hours of Saturday's shooting, Biden's campaign pulled down television ads and suspended other political communications. Democrats also removed campaign threads highlighting Trump's May felony conviction in New York State Court relating to hush money case. Biden instead called for unity and asked Americans to let the FBI do their job and to cool it down.
There is no place in America for this kind of violence, or any violence for that matter. An assassination attempt is contrary to everything we stand for as a nation, everything. It's not who we are as a nation. It's not America. And we cannot allow this to happen. Unity is the most elusive goal of all. But nothing is important than that right now, unity. I urge everyone, please, don't make assumptions about his motives or his affiliations. Let the FBI do their job and their partner agencies do their job. I've directed an independent review of the national security at yesterday's rally to assess exactly what happened, and we'll share the results of that independent review with the American people as well.
Biden's Republican rival Donald Trump also signaled that he will not be engaging in aggressive political statements and instead focus on calm and unity. Trump is due to accept his party's formal nomination at the Republican National Convention with a speech on Thursday. He told the Washington Examiner that this is a chance to bring the whole country, even the world, together. Biden's address from the White House Oval Office signified the immense importance of the president that is attached to getting the message delivered in right tone and tenor. It is his third use of the formal setting of the Oval Office to comment on issues of major importance. Antra Sinha for DD India.
Meanwhile, the Kremlin has quite a sharp reaction on the entire episode. It said that President Vladimir Putin has not contacted Donald Trump after the assassination attempt and has no plans to do so. Asked if security measures around Putin would now be beefed up, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said the Russian leader already enjoys an appropriate level of protection. The Kremlin said on Sunday it did not believe the Biden administration was responsible for Saturday's assassination attempt on Trump, but accused it of creating an atmosphere that provoked the attack. Meanwhile, former US President Donald Trump will officially become the GOP nominee for president at this week's Republican National Convention, days after surviving that assassination attempt. The four-day event kicks off on Monday, just 2 days after a gunman opened fire at a Trump rally in Pennsylvania, grazing Trump's ear. The convention will feature televised speeches by rising Republican stars and Trump's choice for a yet-to-be-announced vice presidential running mate, while highlighting the party's stance on such topics as abortion, immigration, and the economy. About 2,400 delegates from around the country will come together to officially nominate Trump during a roll call vote on Monday. Ukraine's mobilization campaign is seeing an improvement in its efforts to replenish faltering enthusiasm among its troops. Regenerating troop manpower remains one of Kyiv's central battlefield challenges, as reports of draft corruption has also upset the public. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky had lowered the draft age from 27 to 25 in April this year. Russia, meanwhile, is recruiting around 30,000 troops per month while suffering very high losses. "55 Nobel Prize winners have signed an open letter urging Belarusian leader Alexander Lukashenko to free more political prisoners after a human rights group said 18 were released at the start of this month. The appeal was signed by 3 winners of the Nobel Literature Prize, including Belarusian writer Svetlana Alexievich, as well as by 7 peace laureates and 45 winners in science and economics. But the rare pardon still leaves some 1,400 people behind bars for political activity. Lukashenko staged a violent crackdown in 2020 to suppress peaceful mass protests following an election that the opposition and Western governments said he had heavily rigged. That's it from me here in London. Back to you in the studio.
Stuart Smith there, joining us from London. You're watching DD India Global, still to come on the show. In Sri Lanka, electricity tariff is set to be reduced with effect from Tuesday. And India to host the UNESCO World Heritage Committee session in New Delhi from July 21st. We just don't bring you the news as it unfolds. We get to the heart of the matter.
We don't just present facts, we demystify complex social, political and economic events.
We break stories that shape the world's present and future because you deserve the truth.
I am Tanvi Taneja from New Delhi.
I'm Ollie Barrett from London.
I'm Nick Harper from Washington, D.C.
Join us on DD India Global Monday to Friday at these times.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Global. I'm Tanvi Taneja. Back to Asia. Electricity tariff in Sri Lanka is set to be reduced with effect from Tuesday. The Public Utilities Commission of Sri Lanka has approved a reduction of electricity tariffs by 22.5% across the board. The tariffs have been reduced by 25% for consumers who consume less than 30 units of electricity in the domestic sector. Meanwhile, the bills of electricity consumers with monthly consumption between 61 and 90 units will be reduced by 55%. The revision also includes a 33% reduction for the hotels and minor industries during daytime as well. On to China now. Economic data released on Monday showed China's economy slowed in the second quarter. China's National Bureau of Statistics said that the country's second quarter GDP rose by 4.7%. That is the slowest since the first quarter of 2023. It was also down from the 5.3% expansion in the previous quarter. Protracted property downturn and job insecurity weighed on domestic demand, keeping alive the expectations that Beijing will need to unleash more stimulus into the economy. The figures come as Beijing seeks to shore up economic confidence at a highly anticipated third plenum, a key leadership meeting that starts on Monday, although conflicting requirements such as boosting growth and cutting debt complicate those plans. And next we take a look at what else is happening around the world. Elon Musk's company Tesla lost a lawsuit seeking a patent for the 5G vehicle's launch in Britain as the High Court ruled against them. Tesla had filed a patents lawsuit against US technology firm InterDigital and a patent licensing platform Avanci in 2023. At least 5 people were killed and 20 others injured as a car bomb exploded outside a restaurant in Somalia's capital Mogadishu on Sunday night. The cafe was packed with people watching the final of the Euro 2024 football tournament. The bomb destroyed 10 cars and damaged several buildings nearby. Al-Shabaab militants claimed responsibility for the attack. Italian Institute of Technology unveiled a prototype prosthetic foot that simulates the anatomical structure of a real human foot in Genoa, Italy. Weighing around 450 grams and capable of bearing up to 100 kilograms, the foot has no motors or electrical parts, making it waterproof. Called the Soft Foot Pro, the bionic foot is for all-weather use. Its unique design has already secured 2 international patents, with a third currently under review by the European Patent Office. Denmark's capital Copenhagen on Monday started a new reward scheme for completing certain climate-friendly tasks around the city, such as walking, using public transport, or collecting litter. This innovative initiative aims to reduce the city's carbon footprint by offering visitors incentives from food and drinks to kayak rentals. The Danish capital's tourist organization said that the pilot scheme, known as Copenpay, would last 4 weeks. And it's another first for India, as it hosts the 46th session of the World Heritage Committee. The 10-day event also plays host to the World Heritage Young Professionals Forum. 50 young professional minds from around the world, which includes 20 from India, deliberate to find solutions for world heritage in the 21st century, will arrive in New Delhi. More in this report.
Plays host to the 46th session of the World Heritage Committee in Delhi. As an integral part of it, including the young minds, India also hosts the World Heritage Young Professionals Forum 2024 under the theme of World Heritage in the 21st century.
Over the next week or so, they will engage in very fruitful and detailed discussions on aspects like sustainable management of heritage sites, climate change and its effect on heritage sites.
The 10-day forum has the right mix of deliberations, visits across World Heritage sites in the national capital and India.
I think this goes very well along with the Honorable Prime Minister's message of Vikas Bhi, Virasat Bhi, which means development along with preservation of our cultural heritage. And India is a cultural superpower.
The forum will enhance the expertise and capacities of young professionals in protecting, preserving and promoting our natural and cultural world heritage.
Nowadays we are facing challenges such as climate change, such as challenges affecting the site. So this is the field of expertise of those participants and what they are expecting to have their voices heard by the international community.
50 young professionals from around the world meet to gain in-depth knowledge of the global concepts of world heritage and sustainable development.
Climate change is real, and it is now, and as young people we advocate for more policies, more climate finance to go behind the work and the promises that countries make.
I'm happy to discuss various issues, challenges and the opportunity related to World Heritage Convention and World Heritage Management.
I look forward to learning about how India is actually addressing World Heritage sites and what their heritage management plans are.
This presents a great opportunity for the young professionals to familiarize themselves with the local Indian heritage. At the end of the forum, the young professionals will present their declaration to the 46th session of the World Heritage Committee. Anil Thomas, DD India, New Delhi.
So with that, it's a wrap in this edition of DD India Global. Do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. Connect with us on our different social media handles, Facebook, X, formerly Twitter, and Instagram at DD India Live. And for those on the go, you can catch all the latest news and updates from India and the world on our DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. You can scan the QR code on the screen to download now. So we will be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I am Tanvi Taneja from all of us here in New Delhi. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.